If you're someone who's had carpal tunnel syndrome surgery, but you still have numbness and tingling, what is going on? Why do you still have it? Well, my name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. I'm going to answer that question for you because we've had some patients recently that came into our office who had bilateral, meaning both arms, carpal tunnel releases, and he still has symptoms. And he's like, why are my fingers still numb? Like, what's going on? So, when it comes to nerves, I always explain carpal tunnel syndrome is basically a very specific compression of your nerve at the wrist level. The facts of nerves that are so different from any other structure in your body. If you think about muscles and tendons, right? Your muscles that actually move your wrist start in one place and end in another place. And it only is from one place to another place. If you think about your bones, right? Your bones start in one place and end in one place. When it comes to your nerves are one whole piece, but it started in your neck, came down, and then divided into three pieces. One of them, which is the median nerve that goes to your thumb, your index finger, your long finger, and only half of your ring finger. And it gives you sensation to the tips of those fingers, and of course, along the way as well. But here's what happens when you have numbness and tingling in these fingers. They'll do a nerve compression test. They might even do a clinical test, which one is that we do here, which is you compress the wrist, right? Just put the wrist down like this, and you compress it and you hold it for 60 seconds. And if there's a change in your sensation, you have carpal tunnel syndrome right here. And so if you've tried the splints, if you tried the therapy, and if they're only doing therapy right here because they think that that's the problem and nothing helped, and then they went and did a carpal tunnel release, and you still don't have relief from it, here are potentially two problems that you have, right? So some people, the easiest thing is the problem is over here. If you have symptoms over here, then the problem is over here. Anytime you compress a nerve or injure a nerve, it doesn't hurt or have problems where you injured it. Everything is always below that spot. So if your wrist is compressed right here, you're not going to necessarily feel things at your wrist level, but you're going to feel them below your wrist into your fingers, right? So one thing that happens with a carpal tunnel release is you can develop scars. I don't care how small that scar is. So some surgeons make a big old scar across that palm, and that can be common. It's very, a lot of surgeons don't necessarily do that anymore. They do what's called an arthroscopic surgery, and they do a very, very little one right here. They do it, and even a few days after surgery, you won't even see it because that's how small and precise it can be. Here's the thing about them, though. Even though the scar is really small, they have to take their instrument and go up into that carpal tunnel to break that rubber band. So if you think about the tendons, oh, look, hearts. That's the first time I've seen them. But it's a rubber band. So you have four tendons that go to move your fingers. You have another four that goes and moves the tip. So you have 8 tendons, and then you have your nerve, and it's a rubber band that holds the whole bundle, right? The whole bundle. That, yes, if it's too tight, you love it too much, then it can strangle that nerve that you, which causes the symptoms right here. So when you have the surgery, and if you still have numbness and tingling, maybe you have a scar issue, right? Maybe your scarring is really dense. One of the patients that we're working with, that he had the carpal tunnel release, his scarring is so dense, right? So if you have a scarring issue, one of the things that I recommend is to just relax your wrist down. So a lot of times people stretch the scar and they massage it across. There's nothing wrong with that. You can totally do it that way. But here's a way that might be a little bit easier. Is just relax your wrist, and it's going to shorten all the structures right there. And then you could push it around a little bit easier. Sometimes I teach people to pinch it and just to try and move it and shift it around. You can pinch it this way up and down, and you can move that as well. It's a little bit hard to do on your own, and if you have it on both hands, I really recommend going and getting formal therapy, because whatever you're doing to one hand, the other hand's going to get tired, and it has symptoms and it has problems, and you're kind of just going to ping pong it back and forth, and it's hard to get rid of it completely. So I really do recommend, when you have something with both hands, like, really go somewhere and get a really great therapist that you trust to help you do some of the things that you can't do as well on your own, and then they could teach you some of the exercises or moves that you can do better on your own. Even if you have one hand, it's still beneficial to go somewhere and get that love, tender care, that they can work with you, because they'll just have better support because they're using two hands instead of one. Right? And I know you're watching this on YouTube, or you're watching this on a social media channel where you're trying to figure out how to do a lot of things yourself. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I use it, you use it, and it's great. But you, at some point, you have to determine, especially when it comes to hand types of problems, going somewhere, because if it was your leg, you'd have two hands to work your leg, right? If it was your knee or your foot, you'd have two hands. But when it's a hand injury, you only have one hand to work with it. And that's usually why I recommend, hey, going somewhere to learn what to do can be really helpful and make it easier for you to get better, right? So even though I'm sharing with you, you can do it on yourself, you can get your family member to do it, but sometimes going somewhere and getting that expert care can help get you going a little bit faster, right? That's number one, if you have a scar issue. Remember what I said about nerves being one whole piece? Well, then it comes down to, if you still have numbness and tingling, then you've got to figure out, where is it coming from? Is it being compressed at the neck level? Is it being compressed at the shoulder level? Sometimes the biceps muscle, because it crosses right here, can be really thick and can kind of cause some compression, or make it so that the nerve is not moving as well, right? So the nerves have to glide. So it's one whole piece and it just glides. Doesn't move big like a joint, right? Here's your joint, your elbow joint moving real big. Your muscles getting really long and really short as you move. Nerves, they're very light. They just glide a little bit, but certain structures can compress it and get it stuck, and then it doesn't move as well. So if you still have numbness and tingling after a carpal tunnel release, I would inform you, or I would try to help you understand that maybe it's not just at the wrist. And the way I do it here at my clinic at Hands-On Therapy Services, and I educate other therapists as well all around the world, what I educate them to do is I want them to look above and below. So some below the wrist is your little muscles inside your hand. Sometimes they're a little bit tight, and they can put some compression at that wrist level, and that's why you still have numbness and tingling there, right? So work those out and you'll have less numbness and tingling. Could be the scar, which then you're going to have to mobilize and move that scar and all the tissue that's around it that can get real scarred and dense. Your hand, your wrist is very thin, and so the scarring can set in pretty deep. The other thing to consider is the whole length of that, which is your elbow, your shoulder, and your neck, and say, where is the root cause that's causing that nerve to get stuck somewhere and make it so that my fingers and that nerve is not moving well, and it's making my fingers go numb and still tingle even after a carpal tunnel release. And I think that requires a little bit more technical evaluation, right? So I always say, sometimes you can't see it because you're yourself looking at it and you can't see everything. When you go somewhere, they have extra eyeballs that can look at you and say, oh, I see this difference and this difference. And that's the power of going to an occupational therapist, a certified hand therapist, who can really help see what's going on, see what's going wrong, and give you the right advice, exercise, movements to fix it, and fix it fast, so that you don't have to risk, feeling sucky, feeling shitty about having had the surgery and still feeling like crap, right? And the way I describe it always is, if you're inside the jar, you cannot read the outside label, right? If you're inside the jar, you cannot read the outside label. And that's like you trying to see everything that's going wrong and seeing if you can fix yourself. So if you've had surgery already and you're just like, they're not going to do another surgery. They're not going to do another surgery. The only other surgery they're going to be like, let me do surgery to your neck. And you still haven't even really found out like what the hell is going on. Go to a trusted therapist. Let them take a look and find out where else you might get stuck. So you can get rid of carpal tunnel without, contemplating, another surgery or thinking that you have to live with it. Because when you have a carpal tunnel release, you can get rid of the symptoms pretty much 100% of the time, as long as you don't have what we call atrophy. That's a whole nother video. So my name is Huang. I'm an occupational therapist and certified hand therapist. If you're someone who's suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome and you want to avoid surgery, or you've already had surgery and you're like, why do I still have this problem? Give us a call here at Hands On Therapy Services and we'll help you figure it out what's going on and help you get rid of all those symptoms so you can sleep better and do everything better and just feel really good living in your body.